Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix. I'm Bill Snowden, and I love this place. My pronouns are he, him, and I'm your worship song leader today. In today's service, our youth members are in charge. Our opening hymn is 116, I'm on my way. Please rise in body or spirit and sing to the words on the monitor. Hey, to the freedom land, I'm on my way. To the freedom land, I'm on my way. To the freedom land, I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I asked my sister, come and go with me. I asked my sister, come and go with me. I asked my sister, come go with me. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I asked my brother, come to go with me. I asked my brother, come and go with me. I asked my brother, come and go with me. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. They say no, I'll go anywhere. They say no, I'll go anyhow. They say no, I'll go anyhow. I'm on my way. Great God, I'm on my way. I'm on my way. To the freedom land. I'm on my way, and I won't come back. I'm on my way, and I won't come back. I'm on my way, great God, I'm on my way. Please stay standing for the chalice lighting.
Good morning, I'm Jonas, and my pronouns are he, him. I'm your worship associate today. Today we're going to sink into the covenant we recite each week. We begin by lighting our chalice and saying the familiar words. Join me as Gianna and Nigel light our chalice. If you're watching remotely and have a chalice with you, please light it with us. Love is the doctrine. Please be seated.
Good morning. Welcome to the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix. Oh, I forgot to do something. I am the Reverend Christine Dance, and it is my honor to serve as the minister of this congregation. No matter where you come from, how you identify, how you worship, you are welcome here. Welcome home. Welcome as we explore the mysteries of being human together in covenant and in community. The Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Phoenix strives to be a spiritual community for our time, one that is theologically diverse, radically inclusive, and justice-centered. If you are new here, we are so glad that you found us. Each Sunday is different, so please come back multiple times to see the wide range of things that are going on around here and how we worship together. If you are brave enough, would you be willing to wave and let us know if it is your first time here? Welcome. That's 5 folks that I could see. Welcome so much. We are so honored that you're here. We have a few things going on in our community. You can find out everything in our weekly newsletter, but a few highlights. Next Saturday, March 2nd at 11 a.m., please plan to join a group of UUCP to attend a rally of the Arizona Poor People's Campaign at the state capitol. There is flyers, Sandy's holding up flyers and routes and information at the civic engagement table or the compass or the website. Next, the UUCP nominating committee still needs your suggestions for candidates. They are so close. If any of you have nominations or would like to serve on our board, our nominating committee, or our foundation board, please check out Compass. And there is a QR code on a flyer at the back table as well. And next week is New Member Recognition Sunday. So we are going to be welcoming, yes, we're going to be welcoming a number of new members to the congregation. If you don't know if you're a member, you probably aren't. If you have signed the book either in the pandemic or at any other time in my office but have not been recognized, we would love to recognize you. If you are interested in becoming a member of our beloved community, we would love to welcome you into our community. Gary Azell is there in the back. You can also find more information on the website and Compass. We would love to welcome you into our community next week. So now, let us draw deeper into our time together, into our present moment, and into our worship by repeating the first line of our covenant 3 times. You already said it. Join me in saying it if you know it. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. Again. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. And again. Love is the doctrine of this congregation.
In October of 1998, Matthew Shepard was beaten, tortured, and left for dead. 6 days later, he did die. I was 18 years old and a junior in college, and I can tell you that that event stopped us in our tracks. It was shocking and it was horrifying. As a young woman who had grown up in a lesbian household and in the queer community, I was not shocked that the violence had happened. I was not shocked that a gay man had been killed because of who he was. He wasn't the first one. I was shocked because it was the first time we paid attention. It was the first time it was really on the national news. It was the first time we were willing to call a gay person a victim and not blame them. And it sucked. But it was amazing because we all stopped. There were vigils. Colleges across the country canceled classes for the day. Churches of all denominations paused and thought about it. And yes, some of them preached about it in ways that we do not agree with. But they preached about it. And it was on the cover of newspapers. On February 7th, just a handful of days ago, Nex Benedict, a high schooler in Oklahoma, was beaten by their peers in the bathroom of their high school. For weeks and weeks, Nex had endured bullying. Spoken with their grandmother, who they lived with, worked in their community to try to figure out how to stop it and how to deal with bullying. But it didn't stop. And I'm sure that my generation is partially at fault. I know that the adults that surrounded Nex, this young, non-binary student, are at fault. We are actually culpable because every single time we've ever heard that someone was picked on, or we heard a slander and we brushed it off, or we told someone to toughen up, we let that bullying persist. Because when we think of bullying, we think of those like Dennis the Menace cartoons with like the big kid who roughs someone up for their lunch money. We forget that bullying has heightened. Bullying, even in our time, was horrible and was psychological abuse. It is terrorism on an individual. But for generations and generations, we've just kept saying to the victim, hey, toughen up. And we've never stopped the bullies. We've never called them out. On February 8th, the day after the beating occurred, Nex Benedict died. I'm going to say it again. On February 8th, a high school child was killed. They were beaten to death because they were non-binary. It is hard to talk about things like this. It hurts, it's scary, it's big. I often get asked if it's okay to talk to kids about these things. The kids already know. It's time that we hold each other and love each other, and as adults, stop in our tracks. The kids that we see every day, from our youngest to our oldest, amazing youth, know that this is happening. Not a single one of them was surprised by the news. So it's our job as adults to toughen up. Every single time you hear a transphobic statement, stop it in its tracks. Yes, it might make you uncomfortable. Yes, it might be scary. Yes, it might take bravery. But until we actually stop it and say our communities are not a place where this can happen, it will keep happening. Okay, I'll stop being dogmatic for a second and be pastoral. Know that pastoral care isn't my strength. I love you all, and okay. This is hard, this sucks, this is real, this is true. Our community is made of cis bodies, intersex bodies, transgender bodies. We are all harmed by this, and some of it much, much deeper and harder for some of us than others. We are high schoolers, we are people who have to traverse high school bathrooms daily. We are high school teachers. We are parents, we are grandparents. We are people who love the kids who are in danger. So we have to hold each other and keep each other strong. We choose this place on Sunday mornings to work together, to be kind and loving, and to build that gentle space where we can feel safe. Lean on one another here today. Find time to find a balm for yourself and soothe yourself. Mourn and grieve, and let that grief continue. And also, stop this in its tracks, okay? We have to. We truly, truly have to. The youth of the Oklahoma City UU congregation are suffering a lot today. This has hit them very, very hard. So after service, our youth and I will be gathering in room 9 to create a care package for their youth group. If you would like to join us and send messages, please do directly after service. Let's together take a deep breath. And that child's name was Nex Benedict, and I ask you to repeat it with me. Nex Benedict. Blessing, blessing, blessing. Thank you.
Our opening words are from Lisa Ward. A covenant is not a definition of a relationship. It is a framework for our relation. A covenant leaves room for chance and change. It is a humble towards evolution. It claims, I will abide with you in this common endeavor, be present as best as I can in our becoming. A covenant is a dance of co-creation, creating a step with one another in the flow of our lives. A covenant seeks harmony and a shared voice. Unison is not required. A covenant gives authority to shared intention. A covenant invites relationship. A covenant relies on the treasures of shared truth. The courage within this covenant is in the acceptance and celebration of life, with all its challenges, pains, ironies, and joys. And the sacrifices within this covenant is in the letting go of dogma, of assumptions, of control, and giving over to the greater wisdom which comes to us in bits and pieces. The task of this covenant is to take responsibility for our freedoms we espouse. I now invite anybody that would like to come forward for the gather time.
Everyone knows how to play this game. All you have to do is get this balloon to the back of the room as fast as you can. Go.
Oh, wait. You don't know the rules? At least 6 people have to touch the balloon. Guys, bring it back. Bring it back. Bring it back. Guys, bring it back. Please. One person can't touch it more than once.
Wait, don't you know the rules? It can't touch the floor. Okay, let's try again. Go.
Okay. Point made. It's not fun to play a game when not everybody knows the same ground rules. Have you ever tried to play a game when you don't know all the rules? Or have you tried to play a game when a person suddenly decides to make up a new one, or just not follow the ones that have been agreed upon? A game's rules allow for playful, creative fun within the boundaries of the field or the board or a video screen. It's the rules of the game that allow for equal participation.
Even if you're playing a cooperative game, games that aren't competitive, where people work towards the same goal, everybody has to work together, but there are still rules.
Think about our congregation as a playful, cooperative game that helps us know and understand the goals, expectations, and the boundaries of that game.
We have a goal: to live out our mission as best as we can. It would be super easy if one person could just pick up the balloon and run it to the back of the room. But what's the fun in that?
So we have guidelines and agreements about how we will be together and how we will play together towards the fulfillment of that mission. Our congregational covenant, as well as other aspects of our organization, help us play the game. Our covenant provides clear enough boundaries, transparently communicating so everyone knows, to getting us moving together towards the same goal, flexible enough to allow the creativity along the way.
Let's try a balloon game again with one simple rule: to get the balloon to the back of the room without it touching the floor, with maximum participation, and without carrying it. And let's play on.
And that's the point of this game, is that we all win. We all win when we're in covenant with each other, when we work as a team and as a community to get things happen. That was brilliant. Thank you, Leo and Isabel. Everyone can head back to their seats. If they, you can stay there too if you want to, Robert. It's up to you. Yes, it was Robert's birthday this week, so. Each week, we practice generosity as a source of affirming our values by splitting our offering plate with UUCP and a local organization. For February 2024, this is our final week of sharing the plate with Unitarian Universalist Justice Arizona, or UU Jazz. UU Jazz empowers UUs across the Arizona state to work for socially just and public policy. UU Jazz is also a tangible example of just how varied and vibrant ministry can be in Unitarian Universalism. One of its current co-directors, Reverend Sky Williams-Tao, grew up in this congregation and was ordained here in 2022. The gifts you give today is one way that we answer our faith's call to invest in UU ministry and justice happening beyond our sanctuary walls. For all that you give, we are so grateful. Ushers, thank you for working with our unique setup today and making sure that everyone gets the basket. It's an important practice in this community to make time to share pieces of our lives with one another. Sharing them together, we can amplify the joys and lessen our burdens. If you are on Zoom and would like to share a joy or sorrow, please type it into the chat, the brief message of what is in your heart today, and I will read out loud what you share. For those who are here, there are little cards in the back, and I have a couple of them here. So let us take a deep breath and open our hearts to the joys and sorrows of our community. From the Kirkland Morgan family, prayers to the Ambergers, Fries, and Henderson families in their tremendous loss. And from Robert Eland, who it was his birthday, Robert is so glad to say, my kids, Braden and SP, who are here today, have decided it's time to make me a grandpa. So congratulations, Braden and SP, and to Grandpa Robert. I know we're going to have to get, you know he's going to make us, call him that, right? I'm not seeing any online at this time. I'll be looking for that. Just want to call out all of that is still hurting in our hearts and the world with NEX, as we talked about, with the atrocities that are happening in Gaza, the wars that continue across the world, and all of the heart that is in our heart as well. Let us now open up our minds and hearts for meditation and prayer.
When we are holding so much in our world and our hearts, it is good to take some time to connect with our body and our spirit. Oftentimes, this can be the only time we get to stop and do this in our busy weeks. Let us soften in here and now in a spirit of meditation and prayer. As you relax and settle into this present moment, we ask that you cross your arms over your chest, placing each hand on the opposite shoulder. Allow yourself to be embraced in this moment. We hold hope close. By Julian Amaiga Soto. In this community, we hold hope close. We don't always know what comes next, but what cannot dissuade us. We don't always know just what to do, but that will not mean that we are lost in the wilderness. We rely on certainty beneath the foundation of our values and ethics. We are the people who return to love like a North Star, and to the truth that we are greater together than we are alone. Our hope does not live in some glimmer of an distant future. Rather, we know the way to the world of which we dream, and by convenient covenant, and the moment forward of the right action and the next. We know that one day we will arrive at home. Feeling your hands on your shoulders, think of who you are, how can you describe? How do you want people to know you? Gently squeeze your shoulders and now stretch your arms out in front of you and let your hands radiate who you are and know what you are received and held. Amen.
Reverend Anthony Johnson graced this congregation as an assistant minister and was ordained here several years ago. He often sang this song from the pulpit. It's one of the gifts he gave us. You may stay seated as we sing. Sing it for yourself and to those around you. Lovely, awesome and perfect, you're beautiful just the way you are. You're lovely, awesome and perfect, you're beautiful just the way you are. You're lovely, awesome and perfect. You're beautiful, just the way you are.
Before I begin my reflection, I'm going to ask you to reflect. We are going to recite the covenant. This time, as we speak, consider what words jump out for you. Which feel strong? Which do you always remember? Which phrases do you feel especially connected to? Begin with me. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge and freedom, to share our strength in fellowship, thus do we covenant. Thank you. To me, the covenant that we build together as a congregation helps us to connect no matter what each of our individual belief systems dictate. It invites us to go beyond the surface level and really listen to each other. But covenant is not just about the words we speak together. It's about what we do to validate our covenant, both with each other and with any community. An example of one of my communities where we need to honor a covenant is my high school football team. We understand as teammates, we have to hold ourselves accountable and each other accountable for the success of the team, our community. If we don't do this, we risk dishonoring the covenant that we built together. As a player, I push myself and my teammates to our limits, and I don't let us give up. As a member of the congregation, I support the life of this congregation by being a worship associate and encourage my fellow youth to be active in the congregation as well. All of us have these types of communities that parallel each other in covenants, whether spoken or unspoken. I encourage you all to think about the covenants you may have with different communities and to uphold them every day.
will have noticed that the seats are arranged a bit differently than usually. We ask that you now come together in your semicircle group. If you are in the front row of the group, please turn your chair around to face the rest of your group. If moving places is a difficulty, please indicate to Katie, and we will make sure to find an alternative. Okay. Now, let's do the work of our covenant. Your conversation leaders have a number of questions and prompts to help us grow and sink into this time together.
If your group doesn't have a group leader, raise your hand. Gianna, that over there.
If you don't have a leader in your group, can you just raise your hand so we send everyone around? And then Katie is going to be working with our online folks in Zoom. Don't think that you don't get to be part of this conversation. We'll be right with you to share some of those questions. Okay. I can go in the back.
If I talk into the mic, can Zoom hear me? If I talk into the mic, can folks on Zoom hear me? Yes? Okay. Hey, Zoom folks, I just put questions into the chat. Oh, yes, there you go. I'll put some more there. And you all have a pretty important role because you are the only ones who we will be able to share across all of the youth your responses because we'll have them typed. Check the chat. can also hand them and show them the questions.
Pass it around.
Yeah.
As we close our service, we remind you to reach out to someone new or that you haven't seen in a while. Our Exploration Hour activities for children and adults start at noon and are listed on the screen behind me. Thank you so much for sharing yourselves, holding one another, being silly and wise together. And if you want to thank us for an incredible service, this will be in the back. You can sign it or write a special thank you note about how awesome the service was. And one last time today, let's recite our covenant, this time allowing the voices of our community to wash over you. Love is the doctrine of this congregation. The quest for truth is our sacrament, and service is our prayer. To dwell together in peace, to seek knowledge in freedom, to share our strength in fellowship, thus do we covenant. Go in peace, go in love.
Good job.